Take two. This video is to help figure out how to get a bit out when it's stuck. Sometimes when you first loosen your assembly, you have two wrenches to apply forces in opposite directions to loosen this nut. Usually when you first break the nut loose, everything is able to come apart. Now this one did not stick, but many times they do. They may stick because of rust here, because of sawdust in here, or because sawdust inside. So let's just assume for a moment that it's stuck. What I would do is continue to loosen this nut. And sometimes this nut will get tight again while you start loosening it, and then it gets tight again. Well, just keep loosening it until it comes free. If it's tight, you just pull a little harder, and eventually this nut will completely unscrew. When it completely unscrews, then you have access to your bit. You may be able to drive it loose through the bottom, or you may be able to put it in a vise and pull it free. Basically what's happening is the collet is a cone shape, and when the pressure is screwed down, it tightens that cone against your bit. So this bit came free rather easily, but sometimes you have to tap it. You might tap it here, or you may tap here, or you may tap it through the bottom with a hole punch to knock that bit out of the collet. Other bits, different than the straight bit, may have some bigger space on it, where when it's stuck you could actually apply leverage with the wrench, and by lifting up hard enough and working it around, you can work it free. I'd be very careful not to damage the cutting edges or to shatter or break any part of the bit, but gently tapping here, or on the nut often will free it up. In the future, just make sure this is clean, not oiled, but clean, and that inside the hole you've cleaned out any sawdust before you put your bit in place. I always put the nut on first, then take my bit and insert it. You don't go all the way to the bottom. Well, or if you do go to the bottom, be sure you come back up about 1/4 of an inch. That's important because that'll give this cone-shaped collet space to grab hold under the bottom of the bit as it's tightened up. And that'll give you a tighter bit, and it'll also allow for the bit to be removed later without as much force. Hope that helps.